Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers recap and analysis, if you can call it that, in this mess of a game. Pittsburgh losing 30-6 to the Houston Texans. I picked the Texans to win this game, but not by that kind of a butt kicking. Let's talk about it. You guys could also like and subscribe, would really appreciate that, but let's just dive right in. And honestly, in these blowout losses that have become oh so frequent lately, whether it's this game, whether it's the 49ers in week 1, whether it's the Eagles, the Bills game last year, it's almost hard to really find a starting point because there is so much that went wrong, that's gone wrong. And it's not like you can isolate it to maybe just one play or one moment or one unit. It's really just a big casserole of suck, if you can call it that. So where to begin here offensively? Just another slow start. The run game did not get going until the second half. There's no rhythm. They can't sustain drives. They can't run a script. I mean, the opening script, the first 15 plays were exactly whatever number of plays they scripted out as. They just can't do it. And they didn't have a passing first down, I don't think, in the entire first half. I mean, there were some bad calls to wipe some stuff away, but this loss is not on the officials. That much I want to make crystal clear. It just, Kenny Pickett did not play well before he got hurt. He missed Connor Hayward for a wide open touchdown on a smash concept in the end zone through short Allen Robinson. That deep shot to Austin was underthrown. I'm not even sure if it should have been thrown in the first place, and just seen that play call so many times. I know it's worked from time to time, but man, eventually teams are going to adjust, and Nelson played it well and picked it off. But bottom line is no run game, no consistency, no rhythm, terrible starts. Pittsburgh's always in a hole. They just don't score early. They're always trying to dig themselves out and go tempo and adjust and try to get back in the action in the second half, which is how this game went. So it's just more of the same, to be honest. And then offensive line-wise, stunt pickup was an issue. I knew the Texans were going to run a bunch of games and twists, and Pittsburgh did not handle that well. And now Pickett gets hurt on just horrendous play calling, horrendous coaching as well. Fourth down decisions to kick field goals, to punt. The one time they actually go for it on fourth down, which was the right decision. They're in shotgun on this longer developing 5-step drop. It's 4th and 1, dude. The run game had been going better. Najee was running really physical and hard. Credit to him. He did really well in the second half of this game. Give the ball to Najee, man. If you want to be the bully ball team, that is bully ball moments. And you're playing soft. You're playing weird. Pickett gets hurt. Don't know the extent of the injury. It didn't look great, but I'm not going to speculate any further. Maybe you guys know some more information by the time you're listening to this, but bottom line is offense, just a complete train wreck. Defensively, not much better, really, overall. I mean, they got a couple of stops, but I mean, it was still really bad. And for a Texans team that had 4 of their 5 starters missing on their third-string left tackle who had never taken a snap in the NFL offensively before. I mean, I thought Highsmith had a couple of pressures, beat him a couple of times. But really the key was Houston ran the ball effectively. I mean, they came out running the ball, inside zone, outside zone, perimeter runs. They used play action. They used screens really effectively. You get a couple screens early in that game to try to soften up and slow down that pass rush that Pittsburgh has, because they knew their offensive line was on paper overmatched. And so how do you deal with an overmatched O-line? You scheme it up. You run play action. You run screens. You run the ball effectively. Just take the air out of the football. Don't let the pass rushers get the chance to rush the passer. And just across the board, coaching, just out-coach so much. And I know players certainly have a role in this as well. And you go back and we'll talk about that with the All-22. But man, it's the 49ers game. I mean, it's almost the same score. 30-7 against the Niners, 30-6 against the Texans. I don't know which game was worse. This one might have been worse. Probably was worse because the Texans aren't as good talent-wise as the 49ers. But Stroud's a dude at quarterback. They got a bunch of weapons. It's a team on the rise. I mean, it's a really good team, but they got good coaches. And anytime Pittsburgh has been in any sort of game against really smart coaching staffs that scheme things up well and match the coaching with the talent, the Steelers lose. The Bills last year, the Eagles last year, the 49ers. I mean, again, teams that are better talent-wise, but you just see the schematic wins as well. In this game, the talent on paper, easy to say in hindsight, the Texans are better talent-wise, but on paper coming in the game, I think some of us thought at least that Pittsburgh was, better talent-wise, roster-wise, and, they might have been close overall, but schematically, it's not even close. It's Houston by a mile, and that's offense, defense, that's across the board. That's Canada, that's Austin, that's Tomlin, it's not just on one guy. So all that is to say, execution-wise and scheme-wise, Pittsburgh got their butts kicked. That's how you lose 30-6. Run defense was terrible. Landon Roberts struggled. The corners aren't fast enough. There's not enough speed just overall as a team defensively. The Texans could stay on schedule, stay on script. They were 50% on third down. Overall, took care of the football. No splash, no impact plays from Pittsburgh defensively. Really in this one, they hung on. The end of the first half, just really, really poor effort on some of those plays there to allow the Texans to kick a field goal. Man, it is frustrating. Special teams, really not much to talk about. Boz was fine. Red Wing was fine. King had a couple of returns he probably shouldn't have ran back, but it's not changing the outcome in this game, obviously. So that's what I got right now. It's it's one game. You beat Baltimore next week, then again, just in the way that when you lost to the 49ers week 1, you beat the Browns week 2, then things feel better. But Pickett, who knows if he'll play. My guess, and again, just a pure guess, is that he's not going to play next week with the bye in week 6 and this injury not looking like just a minor knee bruise, but we'll see. But Baltimore's a tough team. It's gonna be something. Pittsburgh has to straighten up here really quick. So, wrap this one up. Appreciate you guys listening. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll recap this one, if you can stomach it, later in the week. Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.